So welcome back, after all this time, to our game of Voyager, our Get a Fenris Viking Shenanigans setting. Wherein we will be setting in this nice little village. By which I mean actually pretty large port, honestly. Let's be real together. This is a sept. This is the port attached to the sept, where there are things like longboats and the kind of kinfolk it takes to man and to upkeep said longboats. So it's actually a pretty significant sort of situation we have going here. But for Astra's sake, she will be waking, honestly, as usual, in the home of her parents, to probably to the simple fact that Elspeth, who has been with your family not too long, but long enough, is bustling around the home and doing honestly exactly what she's fucking meant to, which in this case, with I believe summer finally starting to come to an end, raking out the ash and the coals and whatnot from the massive hearth from the night before. There has been food made over the coals before they grew dull. The arm holding that big pot has been swung out, and she is there with a very, very stiff brushed little broom that makes the most amazingly aggravating, rasping, grating noise, and brushing up the ash. Because the coals, easy enough. But the ash that gets really in there takes a bit of scrubbing, takes a bit of elbow grease to kind of coax out. And so, Astra will wake to this lovely, lovely noise.
It opens like a predator. Do you know what I mean? She will kind of roll out of the bed. Just kind of make her hair kind of like fired off in 5 different directions before she usually braids it. But will stare evilly, menacingly at that fucking braid, the fucking coal thing.
Like pops out of her little wing, her kind of curtained off room, such as it were, just to glare.
Oh yeah.
There is a pause in the rasping noise as Elspeth kind of looks up and then promptly looks down, but stops.
She kind of will just pad, probably in one of those long, kind of flowing like nightgowns, I would imagine.
Yeah, basically a long sleeping tunic. Yeah, essentially a nightgown.
We'll just pad over in her bare feet to where the breakfast is laid out, essentially.
Oh yeah, there is as aforementioned, there is an arm that swings out that holds a pot over the hearth, and it is still quite warm. And there is, well, breakfast in there, at least for late risers, anyways. It's hardly unpleasant. The what is her name? Oh, I lost her. At the very least, your mother certainly knows how to make something as plain as what amounts to porridge actually worthwhile. Throwing in bits of fruit and whatnot, late summer stuff. So there's various berries and whatnot pitched in there. It's all sorts of stuff pitched in there, really, to keep it from being just obnoxiously dull.
And she
But
just
yeah,
sit
Elspeth
down.
just crouches there, waiting as you go around her to get to the pot.
She does. She steps around her slowly. We'll sit there, pour out the pot, sit down, get some bread, pour water or whatever other types of drink are there, and we'll just begin to eat slowly.
And Elspeth politely keeps her head down. And just as once you're settled, once you have stopped moving, except for the eating process, we'll just slowly ease up. Just quietly, slowly, deferentially ease up with what she's got in the tray for the ashes. And just decides, this is good enough for now. That's fine. She'll just take this out, and throw it in the compost and it'll be fine. So she just starts kind of easing out of there.
Waits till she leaves and then just seems to relax. Then she's like, rubs her rubs the kind of sleepiness out of her eyes and looks around a bit. Again, kind of just rubbing her face while like, you know what I mean? It's that kind of half like I'm still asleep and I shouldn't be awake type thing.
Oh, what a lovely morning you're having. Yeah, Elspeth fucks right off. And around the house, you will see/hear your mother is, of course, home and in residence and busy about something and fussing with the older of the house servants, who has again been with you a very, very long time. She is very possibly something that came with your mother in the marriage. It's quite the situation. They have an interesting relationship that means that they are best friends, but they argue constantly about running the house just so. So that's happening off in another chamber. Your father doesn't seem to be in residence, or if he is, he's being very quiet about it. And of course, you hear the usual hustle and bustle outside.
Where's the Shadow Lord one?
Mm-hmm. You hear him.
She kind of just poke her head around just to see if she can see him. Just mid-eating.
Oh yeah. You like lean about just to, peek outside. And yeah, Jacob is out there. Not only Jacob, but naturally close in tow to Jacob, Peter is out there.
I thought it was going to be one of the boys. I was like, ugh.
Not yet. Just wait for
yet.
it. But no. Poor Peter is adjusting. Again, he seems to know what he's doing as far as managing a property, but his command of the language is fragile at best. Still,
She'll kind of stand up. She won't go exactly outside, but just kind of stand at the distance of the door so nobody can look directly at her, if you get me. So she kind of leans in. It's very tactically done, essentially.
very tactically done.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you'll see Jacob hustling Peter around and generally being something of a pest, but not overtly nasty. But there is a lot of fucking with that happens. A lot of, especially when he uses the wrong terms. Peter will, say something meaning something else. Jacob will go out of his way to make sure he gets exactly what he asked for, which is rarely what he wanted. And all in all, it's a solid fucking with that he is getting. Oh, and of course, Jacob is not letting them fall behind on their chores around the property. Not in the least. The pigs are still getting fed. The cattle are still getting tended. There are, properties, and believe it or not, your father does actually have crops. So it's getting on. It's just that you get to watch the prolonged process of, one young man fucking with another young man within an inch of his fucking temper, fucking with him.
Yeah, she'll watch for a bit. I don't know if Jacob catches on, essentially.
Oh, very possibly. He'll give him another solid, like, at one point he asks for water and asks for it improperly, just asks very generally when he is insisting on trying to teach him appropriate terms for, for a water skin, for a cup. Come on, at least say spoon. Spoon? No? Water? Okay, fine. Dunks his head in the fucking trough. And that's when he glances up right at the window she's looking from and shoots off the biggest, broadest, shit-eating grin.
Gives the awkward smile back and kind of ducks behind him like, puh. Shit, I've been discovered type thing.
You gonna do that little creepy peek after a moment?
Mm-hmm.
He, like, flails an arm in a wave.
Just gives the wave, the hi. You know what I mean? The wave. She gives that, I'm awkward. Hi, wave. I'm a terrible, vicious Viking, I swear. Wave.
Yeah, huh? Terrible and vicious. He totally buys it. He doesn't buy it at all. But on the bright side, he is, after a moment or two, distracted as poor Peter tries. Peter finally manages to wrestle his head out of the water and lunges, and a fucking chase begins between the two of them. Fucking Jacob takes off running. Peter is bowling after him. He is so fucking done. Eventually, Jacob does go through a comical process of some ducking, some weaving, finally tripping him up and sitting on him. Glances back to the window to see if you're still watching.
Yep.
Flexes dramatically. Not effectively, just dramatically. Like, that's right, I'm the shit.
She just shakes her head, smirking. She's going off, and she'll go and get changed into her gear.
Oh, yeah. You get the funny feeling that at least part of that was flat out to entertain you. The slightest inkling.
Puts on the chastity belt. No. No, she just puts on the arraignment. And we'll probably walk outside fully unless her mother stops her to annoy her.
Oh no, your mother is still busy arguing viciously over what dinner should or should not be, and whether they should start it now or do something simpler later, because there are more things to be done around the house. And it's man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she skids her way out. It's like, oh no, I'm not dealing with that.
Yes, this is precisely the right option.
She skids outside, probably to where the boys are wrestling.
And by the time you have changed, skirted out, gotten outside, the boys, I should probably just say fuck it and split screen them. Yeah, wrong buttons. Ugh. Ready to go. Come back. Here we go. No escaping. The boys are still out and about and doing their shit. Albeit, at this point, Peter has kind of calmed down, or at least has his head down a bit more, and Jacob is cheerily instructing him only in Norse, only in your tongue, and watching him flounder and now and again point to various things, and again, very cheerily shaking his head over and over until he gets it right.
Kind of, she's like fixing the belt buckle, like the belt around her waist. She'll kind of look up and give that kind of like hello type, stare. Like eyebrows raised, looking down at the other two, at the other one who's being viciously mocked and bullied, and will just kind of look up, enjoying herself.
How could I not? Look at him.
He's quite amusing, yes. Although, I mean, it must be pretty easy to bully a newcomer. Just smirk slightly.
Wouldn't know anything about it. Cheery grin.
I mean, I'm just saying, it takes a certain skill to get away with undermining someone like. She stares immediately, looking around, because she knows they're fucking there. She knows.
Knows what?
She's looking, searching. She knows she'll see one of them eventually. She always does.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Momentarily, she relaxes. For now, they're not up yet. She's woken up before them. Excellent. Do you know what I mean? But she'll, it just takes a lot more skill, I find, to, undermine and wind up somebody who's a bit bigger than you and get away with it.
It does help when you're faster than them, and they know that they have a veritable noose around their neck.
True. True, but I just thought he'd be a bit too easy game for you.
And what are you suggesting? And he dips into what you recognize within about half emotion as his usual, just so deferential bow. Lady of my household.
Kind of frowns like,
It is some shit he pulls on the regular.
You don't have to keep doing that. I'm not the lady yet. And I will not be a lady.
Will you not?
No. I am a guru, and I am a Fenrir, and I'll be leading raiding parties, not being a lady.
He shrugs.
Gives it like a firm, like, yeah, that's right. Flex, you know what I mean? But
He flat hands it to her, and he can see that she can see he's letting her have it too. That's the best part. Just like, okay, all right. It's that little hands up, like little did I fucking know kind of gesture.
You just look like goddamn fuck, you're right. You fucking stupid shit, Lord. You know what I mean? But no.
For what it's worth, Peter is awkwardly kind of trying to disappear that way. There's a thing to do that way. He's comically like keeping his eyes down and trying not to turn his back the whole time he's trying to shuffle. It's pretty amazing.
Just watched out the corner of her eye. For now, she kind of will look over. Do you really think I'd be a lady?
Do you really think you won't?
That's not fair. That's not what I asked.
It's not. And he finally like leans back against the fence. Kind of comically lax because, well, no one higher ranking than him in the household is nearby, and neither of your parents are nearby. Not even your brother's nearby. And, well, you get the impression Peter's not talking, so he seems pretty relaxed for the moment. You may be Guru, but do you never plan to continue your line?
I do.
Then do you plan to walk on the battlefield with a belly full of child?
I am not my brother's wife.
Then at least very temporarily, you'll be a lady. And even if you are on the field, you will still be the lady of a household, whether you stay in it or not.
But I can be a queen of a household.
You can be the queen of a people.
I will be.
Bit of a grin. But there is no higher place than the lady of a household.
True. Well, maybe I would just prefer to be a queen. Smirks.
Maybe you would.
Besides, I have to make sure that it all goes right.
It all?
Yes. Can't simply rot with anyone. What will my father say?
There's a slow lean and a thoughtful look as he tilts the head. But whatever it is, it doesn't make it past his mouth.
Stare? Like, what?
I'm sure he would say something properly and paternally disapproving.
Yes, and if my brother has anything to go by, I think he's relying solely on me to make sure the family legacy keeps living on.
Isn't your brother's wife a child?
She runs into battle with as pregnant.
Shrugs.
Which
She's lived
means
this long.
that's not the other punches his shoulder. So it doesn't
Ugh.
matter.
It's kind of dramatically shook.
It does not matter. That is like saying, oh, well, if she takes one wrong sword slash, that could mean the end of it all.
I suppose so. Well, what do you think I tell myself when you go off on your ship? Kind of gestures idly towards the port.
You care that I? Frowns.
I am a slave, not an animal.
Yes, I know that. I don't treat you like an animal.
He reaches out, gives her nose like a tweak of a pinch. I've known you too long to not care.
Blinks like as if like someone, when like your head and eyes go cross-eyed, like. Duh.
Besides, who would glare at me in disapproval if you didn't come back?
I don't glare at you with disapproval.
Oh, sometimes you do. Usually when I do that.
Punches him again.
Takes it. Doomp. Still grinning. Peter looks like he's about to collapse.
I see you, boy. Like.
Ugh, man, look at those pigs over there. He should check on those. He's just ugh.
Look at all those chickens. And runs
Pretty
out.
much. Ugh.
Grumbles. Well, I'm glad that you care. Whatever.
There's a mild head tilt.
Looks off in the distance, like I'm totally not looking at you.
Waits for her to really commit. Tweaks her nose again.
It's like he's like pressed the epileptic button. Her face like jilts. You know what I mean?
It's just the tiniest little squeeze, and then tweaks the end of her nose, like doink.
Yeah, she seizes. Would turn. Stop.
You keep pretending you're not paying attention,
I'm not.
and you keep pretending you don't understand.
I am not paying attention.
You're not.
And I don't understand.
We're having an awfully long conversation for someone who's not paying attention.
We are.
Hmm.
I just said I'm glad that you care, so I don't know why you're making a big deal out of it.
Am I?
Yes.
Grinning intensifies.
You always make a big deal out of it. Looks off again, like, no. These pigs. Look at that.
I've known you since before you were big and furry and scary.
So?
I remember you braiding flower crowns.
Yes. I may still do that.
A big proud creature like you.
Yes. I can make it the most prideful flower crown.
The most prideful.
Mm-hmm. Hands on her hips, like, don't you fuck with my flower crown.
Well, let's see it. Grinning.
No.
Oh, I suppose you just can't be wasted with your time. I'm a lowly creature like myself.
Pokes his chest. You listen here, Shadow Lord. You know what I mean?
That's name calling.
It is.
Inappropriate. That is
No,
not
it isn't.
becoming of a genteel lady like yourself.
Well, you listen here. I would
The hands have come up like, hey now.
Prods his chest about 4 times, like,
It takes all of it.
you wait right here. Storms back into her house.
Oh, she storms into the house.
Yep, comes out with the fucking flower crown.
His eyebrow has kind of quirked up. She knows shit comes up with a flower crown.
On top of her head.
Is it even anything she made, or is it something she's gotten?
Something she's taken. It's one of the more fancier, ornate pieces of flower crown.
Really ornate, like dried flower crown, actually for fucking celebrations.
Yep, walks out with it.
The hand just kind of comes up, kind of playing with the scruff on his cheek. You made that, did you?
Hang on now.
All by yourself,
Yes.
huh?
Don't you have a problem with that? Are you doubting my craftsmanship?
That's it. Maybe.
Well, I'm not going to make those wooden pieces you like.
He proceeds to just be aghast. Like the hand comes to his chest like he has been truly wounded.
I know you liked the last one before.
And lifts his chin up ever so faintly. Maybe I do.
Fine. Then I won't make them ever again.
That seems like contrary logic.
You said you might like them, so that means there's a possibility you don't. So I am taking it that you don't, because I can. Nods.
That starts going for the nose again. It sounds like a spoiled princess talking.
Slaps the hand away. No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Just no?
Yeah. Besides, you're much better at this social forte thing than I am.
How is that? Grinning still ear to ear.
Because you play it to wind me up, whereas I engage in social things to rally the people.
I don't know, you tried awful hard to wind me up.
That's because you are immune to my tactics and it's frustrating.
That may be the case. It's a tragic tale.
Oh,
uphill battle.
Fine. Fine. Storms off.
Oh, Astra, don't be like that.
Looks over. Don't be like what?
Don't pout.
I do not pout. She's totally pouting.
No, I'm seeing the lip. It's coming out.
Well, you can't grow a beard.
That is hurtful.
Well, I do not pout.
Just hurtful. Just mean and hurtful. You've cut me to the quick.
Good. Perhaps you should grow a proper beard and I won't then.
When he, do we, perception. You can do either empathy or alertness. It's up to you.
Empathy for the Galliard. They're both the same dice pool anyway.
He abruptly and for no particular reason looks very amused.
Why are you laughing?
Well, you kind of brings the hand up. Well, you did say you appreciated a proper beard. Or plied, anyways. Look what you've done. Kind of nods past you.
She look over her shoulder. Oh no.
Dun dun dun.
Zooms in his face. You like beards?
I heard you liked beards.
Slowly eating.
I mean, pretty much.
Can't get over that expression on his face.
Why is this the picture you chose?
It's so good.
It's not. It's so bad. Look at it. He looks like Viking Jesus. Viking Jesus has jerky and is leering.
Blushes. Well, there's your competition then. Just walks the other way.
Oh, I see. He gets a
Yes.
blush.
No, I was.
It's the beard, isn't it?
You're really. Storms away. Going to find Diddy's.
As you storm away, Viking Jesus is watching, longing, munching on jerky, chewing
Teases,
eternally because jerky.
teases the other brother now because she's like, I heard her. She admitted it. She likes the beard.
Oh, don't worry. As soon as you're out of eyesight, he's gonna go start a fight with his brother. It's inevitable.
Yep. She will storm to find the Diddy's. Unless anyone interrupts her on her track to find Diddy's and her many, many entourage.
You storm off mightily. Are you giving her any heads up that you're looking for her?
Nope. Nope.
Oh God. Well, let's put it this way. Oh God, why? Why am I misclicking everything? You storm mightily through this very scenic village. No, look, it's a village. It's about twice this big, and no trees. You don't get any trees. You cut down the trees. Just fields, glorious fields. No trees. But as you storm through, let's see. Let's play a game.
Okay.
Let's play a game. Okay. Play a lovely, lovely game. That is not the folder I want. That also is not the folder I want. There they are. You're storming through. You're on a mission. She doesn't even know you're on a mission. But soon enough, with a bump, you encounter Full Scold.
Duh.
You thump into me. Bleh. Astra.
You.
What? Me? Me?
Yes. You.
What? What, me?
Yes.
Are you
Where's
sure
your
it was
cousin?
me?
Where's your cousin?
Which one?
My packmate.
Oh, that one.
Yes, that one. Where?
I'm gonna roll the thing real fast. First, I'm going to roll.
What's he doing?
He is basically going to like gesture. Well, I mean, she's right over that way, and we'll be realistic. He's good at this. Oh God, he's really good at this.
If that's an ipsub, I have no hope of beating that. I have no hope of beating that.
And then he does this. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Probably more like this. I roll perception alertness against that.
Okay. Nope.
Yeah, you turned away. As he points, it's right over that way.
What are you doing?
But me? I
Yes,
live
you.
here.
Glares around the thing accusatorily.
What? What?
A likely story.
What?
Yes, you heard me.
You like what?
A likely story.
A likely story. I do live here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the village that I live in.
I know it is the village, but this is not the exact house. You've played this trick on me before.
What trick? I was just walking here. You're the
No,
one
you
who
are
bumped
not.
into me.
You are following me.
I
Eyes
wasn't.
narrow.
Me?
Yes, you.
Weren't you looking for my cousin?
I was, but you were following me, which
I
means,
was not following you.
which
You
means,
literally walked headfirst into me. I don't see how I'm at fault here.
no, you were following me.
What? What? Why would
Mm-hmm.
I be following you?
I don't know. Why would you be following me?
That is a very good question, which is why I asked it.
Mm-hmm. Now, well, I don't know. I don't know why you'd be following me. Have you have an interest? Steps forward at Adam.
Like leans back, like doesn't step leans for comic effect.
Do you have an interest in me?
What? What?
Is that what you're doing?
What?
Are you following me?
Why would I be following you?
You know, I did sense someone at night at the house last night. Was that you? You snooping?
No. That was the Skulson brothers. I saw them snooping. I was snooping on them snooping.
You were So you were snooping, she says out loud. You know?
I was snooping on them.
Snooping? While I was in my house?
I was snooping on them.
In my night? Her voice seems to just echo.
Oh god, you're gonna make me look up things.
It's time for revenge on this fucker. She believes him. Today is that way, but she's gonna just seal something in. It is time.
Oh god.
This is for fucking us over on the raid, you. Yes, her voice does echo. She's got a big thunderous voice. She's a Galliard.
Oh god. Oh Lord, hold on. Let me get a look at you real fast.
What you got me to roll, Katie?
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh Lord. And he proceeds to kind of and then draws himself up. Madam, are you so intrigued in what I'm up to that you fancy me and perhaps hoped that I was searching on you? It is laughable! And I'm rolling fucking infectious laughter.
Go ahead. Roll it.
Oh god, minute expression. Let's see, for him, let's... Oh lord.
I have a plan if he fails.
It'd be really funny if he failed. Oh,
I'm really hoping he fails.
he does not fail because your rage is not 5. Just fucking barely.
Alright, I'm gonna roll Primal Urge first. Let's start laughing.
Oh, you start laughing, whether you want to or not. Whether you catch his shit or not.
Oh, I catch it.
He's like, ah ha ha, and everyone around, like all the kinfolk, start laughing because that's absurd, and you start laughing, and he waggles his eyebrows at you once and turns and bolts.
Oh, I was gonna roll something.
You can roll at him, but he is almost immediately like, ha 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 ha, bye. Poof.
He's the same rank as me. Visage of Fenris. There you go. So it's like, then it's like when he looks back to make sure he got away, then you know what I mean? This like screech like right in his face.
Roll perception alertness again. I love this fucker too much. Is he holding flowers?
Which one?
You're pretty sure you saw some flowers in his hand as he's running. Like he turns to really book it after the snarling at. He's like, "Buh!" Fucks right off, and you're like, are those flowers?
She starts to sprint after him, full speed, spending rage. I'll actually blow to rage. Yeah, fuck it.
Oh god, he's gonna blow one. So let's have some fun with this. Actually, hold on. Let me check his shit. Oh, god damn it. Because he is going whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. All right. He's got a bit of a head start, so we're gonna roll off to see if he gets enough of a distance on you to pull some shit.
Okay. I'll blow apart because fuck you and your shit after this. Like, 3 successes.
Oh god. Oh lord. Oh, this is sadly his bread and butter, so let's see how this goes.
I got 3, so
Oh, you're keeping track. You're keeping at his pace. So first rage action.
An extra one.
Oh, that was the main thing. Let's do the rage actions worth to see if you can keep up.
Again. 4 successes.
Oh my god. What the fuck just happened? What? Oh god, you're catching up.
You know what? I'm gonna spend another one because I'm getting you.
Well, that was the first rage, so you've got this rage action. Go ahead and do me another one.
2. Actually, 3 with the willpower spend. I spend another willpower. Fuck it, I don't care. I'll do it. I'll catch him.
Considering that's a total of like 5-ish. Yeah, you catch up. What would you like to do? You were able to take an action.
I'm going to grab him. Miss. I just try to snatch my hand up, but I miss.
You like whisk the fabric on his fucking tunic. You almost got him. It was such a good chance, and he just whoop, 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 fucking running like a chump.
Okay, I'm still level pace with him. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing is now you're like upon him. So let's see what he can pull off. He spends another rage. He rage shifts to Lupus and starts booking even harder.
I rage shift to Lupus.
He even just out of spite, that little flower crown, he like transitions it to his mouth as he's shifting. Keeps running.
I rage shift to Lupus, and I'm going to roll Charisma Animal Ken because I have beast speech, and I'm about to fuck your day if this goes well. So that's Charisma Animal Ken. It's 5 dice. In beast speech, you scream at the chickens to start attacking him.
Did you successfully activate it?
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh god, Fool's Gold is beset from all sides by angry chickens who normally would stay the fuck away from him, but they're like flapping at him. They're not doing damage. It's just he's suddenly being pelted by angry chickens.
You know what that
Seems
does?
really startled.
You know what that does, Katie?
What?
Slows him down.
I mean, they're just chickens, but
I
he's like,
know.
"Ugh."
Exactly. You know who's coming like a hurricane, spending 2 rage.
Oh god.
So, if you'd like to prompt me, I will go at him.
Yeah, you are good.
For-
He has not pulled away yet. The chickens have prevented him from pulling away.
Almost, it was the perfect plan. Lupus bonus. Ooh, the grapple.
You leap on him. Let's see if he can. God, what's the lupus bonus for strength?
+1, isn't it?
Probably.
Let me check. Yeah, +1 for lupus.
Not 2. Yeah, you tackle him. And lupus just full like tumble onto him, grab a hold of his scruff or whatever. It's a grapple, so you essentially kind of like jump on and scruff him as he is being pelted by chickens. Now you too are being pelted by chickens.
That doesn't
Because
matter.
he's under you.
The chickens are nothing. You know what I mean?
There's so much angry squawking happening around this spectacle.
Over the sound of the squawking chickens, you'll hear in the Batman lupus voice, "Give me the flowers!" You know what I mean? Because Vision's Fenris is still active, so she's fucking terrifying.
Oh god. Hold on, let me get this shit. What is? Oh, that's poop. Yeah, he's just flailing around. He's dropped it. You have essentially tackled him. He's being pelted by chickens. It may be a little on the smushed side at this point because he has been tackled and assaulted by chickens.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like flailing his fucking lupus legs everywhere. Like,
say you're sorry. You know what I mean? He's like wrangling him around, so like lifting him up so the chickens pelt the under part of his fur. The soft bit.
Let's I mean, they're just chickens. Let's see if you
I
can
know.
break out.
Oh, I'm gonna keep fucking hold of you, you fucking shit.
It's only one.
He gets God fucking.
He slithers out of her mouth. At least he leaves the prize behind, but like tail tucked is like trying to scramble up and book it again. Like
she'll melt up into Hamid and start yelling, "You!"
And he proceeds to whoop around the closest corner.
From now on, you're gonna be those chicken bait. You're off. You know what I mean? He's like screaming at the top of her lungs.
There are no small number of people paying attention as you are yelling after him, and this fucking lupus ducks around a corner. Whoop!
Just fixes her collar and goes and picks up the flower crown really sadly, like my flower crown.
It's a little mushed. It's not Let's see how. Oh God, help me. Let's see how badly. Oh, it's actually in pretty good shape. It looks a little mushed, but you pick it up and you start kind of gingerly, fiddling with bits and fleshing them back out, and it's fine.
Puts it back on her head.
Oh God.
Looks at all the people. What?
You look at all the people like, what? This person looks back like, what?
Oh, shit, it's a riot. No, fuck.
No, it's another client, but he's just looking at you like, what? Sitting.
Wait, she's in this pack.
He is in his pack.
Walks over, takes off the flower crown. He stole this from my home.
Did not.
He did. Why do you think I chased him?
Stole from your head.
Still from my home. Came from my home on my head. So it's from my home.
Is not the same as stealing from territory.
It is more or less the same, considering
Is
it's
not.
mine. It's mine. It's my possession, which is technically my territory. Technically.
He says, pauses, personal space is also territory.
Personal
Same
possession.
nod. Like,
Personal possessions is territory. Eyes narrow, like, no, I see your shit.
was game. If you make fuss, we make fuss.
Mm.
Stare.
Stairs. Just storms off like I fucking hate you and your lupus shit. Do you know what I mean? She's walking. Oh, look, personal possessions. That's what she's thinking in the back of her head all the way through the back. Like,
She
person's
just
space territory.
he just kind of watches her go, gets up, trots off, probably goes to gnaw on his ragabash.
Who'd still be probably mass assaulted by chickens. She'll go and find the little Theurge then, with the Frau crown on her head, because fuck you.
Because I'm fucking fabulous.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much your reason.
Yeah, at this point you're griping through the link and it is just like, what are you what is happening now?
Your filthy cousin tried to steal my flower crown. But it's fine. I said chickens on him.
You what?
Yes.
What?
He stole my crown. I chased him around the village and set chickens on him.
You get the slow impression of a face palm.
What? He stole my flower crown. It's a really pretty one. It's the purple one.
Well, then I suppose he deserves it.
He did, he says quite firmly.
Did he tell you to think of his children?
No, he didn't have time. I was slamming him into the dirt while the chickens pecked him.
Oh, well. I'm sure we'll hear it in no time.
Stupid lupus with his personal possessions. Territory.
Oh, don't get fussed with the Philodox for not taking you seriously when you were chasing around the village like children.
He stole my crown. He stole my thing.
He did? He did? Oh, come on. Where are you? What are you even? Come here.
I'm looking for you.
I'm by my parents' hut. Where are you looking?
That's where you do your things.
Which things? There's
things
the
that-
distinct sensation of an eyebrow waggle. Just
Those
to fuck
things
with you
that
a
are-
little bit.
Burned in my memory that I never want to see again.
Oh, so by the spring.
Yes, where you and Ivan's large.
Mm-hmm.
Large.
Very large.
I am there.
Well, all right. I'll be there in a moment.
Good.
And yeah,
Don't bring your friends. Do you know she kind of looks down awkwardly?
just for you. And yeah, soon enough she comes strolling that away in admittedly fairly casual wear because let's face it, they're just chilling in the fucking village, shouldn't need to be armed and armored. So yeah, definitely more casual tunic, belt, the bits and baubles.
I'm sure if I had asked her in her usual setup with the big purple flower crown on her head.
No, it is the proper one.
Mm-hmm.
And it survived.
It did. If it hadn't have survived, I would have makes up like like I would have been so mad. The type of face.
I would have huff, puff, huh.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that.
She will withhold her amusement for the moment and come to settle down by the spring and begin studiously as she sits there to divide up her hair to start braiding it.
Besides, I can wear a crown if I want to.
I don't see why you can't.
Exactly.
I admit it is not what I expected.
What? Can I not wear a crown?
No, you certainly can. Just aren't generally the flower wearing type. Shoots a little bit of a side glance.
I
Like,
used to make flowers.
you did. It's been a while.
Well, maybe I felt like I wanted to wear it. Besides, I am Astrid Trimbenson. I should have a crown. Nod to herself like, yeah, that's right, bitch. You know what I mean? It's that awkward, like, yeah.
She pauses mid braid, glancing over.
What?
Who got under your skin this morning?
The stupid servant boy. She trying to take the flower crown off dramatically.
He does seem to be very good at that.
Yeah, well, she rubs the back of her head. I'm tired of everyone thinking I'm a joke.
She finally, works her way down, binds off the first braid. Do you think we think you're a joke?
So many people treat me, yes.
Finally reaches over and gives just a light, caring little, shove the shoulder. We're still young. We can still have fun. We can still make jokes.
Yes, but I'm the expense of everyone's joke lately. Especially that silver fang. Rubs her face. The one that was inappropriate.
Oh, the one whose hand we're taking off.
Yes.
Well, for what it's worth, Jesper was just trying to have a little fun, I'm sure. He does the same thing to me all the time.
Yes, but you're not like me, and you are better at handling these things than I am.
Oh, no, I chase him around screaming. And throw things, usually. It's usually the throwing things. If you throw something heavy enough, he eventually drops it.
I pelted him with chickens.
I mean, that was definitely a new take on it. I have not tried employing chickens.
I can speak to animals, so.
I bet he didn't see it coming either.
No, he was quite alarmed. It was quite amusing. He made that stupid walrus noise.
There's a bit of a grin on her as she finally starts braiding again. Good.
Just, everyone's,
You might try this outrageous thing that I like to call having a sense of humor about it, and, well, at worst, getting them back. As long as it's a joke, where's the harm?
I don't see it as a joke, though.
Why not?
Rubs the back of her head. Never have. I'm Astrid Trimbenson. Big, important family. I always thought they were just making fun of me because I'm from a big, important family.
Just kind of a side squint.
Because, You know, I may be big and important, and when everyone sees me, they all look at me and they know who I fucking am. And Aaron is Aaron, and I
He
don't think
is.
he knows that anyone's looking at him apart from his wife.
Oh, he
So,
does.
but Aaron's different to me.
Arn makes the joke himself, so no one else can.
Yes, well, I am not my brother,
You are
and
not?
I take these things seriously. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're a Galliard. You're supposed to be social." Well, yeah,
Everyone?
yes. It's a bit. I put a lot of stock on what my father says, and sometimes I take it too seriously. There, I said it.
Takes over with a bit of a smile, finally fastens off the second braid, and reaches over, kind of scooches over, and starts idly combing her fingers through Astra's hair. You can tell it's about to begin the braiding, albeit not necessarily in the same pattern as usual. Well, you're as young as the rest of us, aren't you?
Yes,
And don't you think it's funny when you see us doing the same stupid things to each other?
sometimes. People deserve it.
Wouldn't it be fun to be in on the joke? Wouldn't it be fun to do a little bit of picking at someone, even if it means getting a little bit picked at by someone else?
But I'm not in the joke.
You could be, if you let yourself.
I've seen the way all the rest of them look at me.
You may be the daughter of the beta, but she continues. Her fingers fly.
Besides, they all laugh at me and what I believe in. So why should I waste my time with people who don't share the same beliefs as me?
It's not that we laugh at what you believe in, Astra. We believe many of the same things. We just pace ourselves a little more.
Pace.
Hmm.
Why should we pace ourselves?
Because we are still Cleoths and we can only be taken so seriously.
Well, maybe we should be more aggressive. They like initiative.
They do. Initiative is good. Success is good. But if you're preaching what we already believe, and you're preaching it more fiercely than the right master,
But can I not be proud?
you can be proud. Of course, you can be proud. But you don't have to be loud to be heard.
But I'm a Galliard.
You are.
They're supposed to hear me.
And they will.
But then why you tell me not to be loud?
When. Hmm. When she finally stands up, goes around to stand behind Astra so that she can reach her hair better, and continues, idly braiding. She'll note that this is going, oddly enough, around her head, as opposed to down in the longer braids, battle-worthy stuff. This is more than simple utility. When Smoke and Sea Spray is telling us a tale, what happens when he lowers his voice?
Everyone goes quiet to listen.
They lean in. They go quiet. They pay even keener attention. Do you think if he screamed his stories, they would have the same effect?
I don't scream my stories. I tell very good like looks around. Like, how dare you? You know what I mean?
She just very calmly reaches down and kind of sets her head straight, gently. The hey, I'm working on your hair here kind of thing. I didn't say that you screamed your stories. I said, do you think they'd have the same effect?
Maybe.
really.
Depends. I enjoy it when they scream.
During the part of the stories where it is meant to be loud and it is meant to be shocking, yes. What do you think if he screamed every word that people would listen the same way they do as when he varies his tone, when he keeps their interest, when he holds a little bit back so they have to listen if they want to hear it?
She doesn't answer because she's like, damn it.
There's a very brief pause, but when she realizes Astra isn't going to answer, she just continues braiding. I'm not saying don't be proud, and I'm not saying don't say what you want to say. I'm saying learn how to say it in a way that makes people want to hear it. If you're always, not literally, screaming it, there's nothing new to listen for. There's nothing that's held back. There's nothing to draw their ear to you. But if you offer it out to those who are listening, to those who are eager, if you tell it in a way that draws them in, maybe things will be a little different.
So I'm supposed to go completely against what my father told me.
What did your father tell you?
Bare your teeth and be loud.
She plucks up the flower crown from where Astra has pitched it on the ground and starts very carefully to nest it in with the braids, continues working with her hair. You can be big and proud and bare your teeth. And when the time is right, you can be loud. And when the time is right, people will be excited and they will scream back to you like they did on the ship when they needed it. It's just about knowing when is that moment. If you're loud all the time, you're just loud.
So I can't take joy in my calls.
Of course you can. But don't you want others to take joy in it too? Do you want them to hear you, or do you want them to listen to you?
It'd be nice if they listened.
You can make them listen.
Roller. She'll even see it as the eye roll.
She stags the sides of her head to tip her head back a bit so she can look down. Look her properly in the face. If I didn't think you were capable, would you still be my beta?
I don't know.
Smart bet is on no. I don't follow people that aren't meant to lead.
That's my brother's job.
Your brother may be a big, brash alpha, but you are still beta. And you are still leading.
When every idea is taken from me.
We'll have a talk about it.
We won't.
We won't.
I know. It's my brother. We will not have a talk about it. Usually the talk will end in fists. Which he'll win, because, let's face it, as much as I hate admitting it, Aaron is stronger than me. As does per his duty.
It is his duty to be stronger. And it is your duty to know. It's Crowder's duty to question, technically, but it is still your duty to know and advise. And if he doesn't listen to his Galliard's advice, and doesn't learn from the tales and doesn't learn from the histories, is he doing his duty as alpha?
No.
Then be his beta, and if he fails to be an alpha, we take it from there.
Well, I'm trying.
I know. She finally seems moderately satisfied. Comes back around, sits next to her, starts on the next of her own braids.
Just tired of... It's insulting. Especially when I don't do it to him. Like, take care of his wife.
It certainly can be. But when is the last time you sat and truly talked to your brother? Not in front of us, not in front of the village,
He
not
doesn't
even
want to talk.
necessarily in front of your parents.
He does not want to talk to me.
No, that is a crying shame because sometimes we need to talk.
But he doesn't want to talk to me. He's much more concerned with... I will not say ill words.
I know. But you are still his sister. You are still his twin.
She run her hands through the water and go, he's much more concerned with rutting that whore up her arse.
I mean, he must have gotten it in the right hole at least once.
She probably arranged it that way.
Good on her for at least being intelligent enough to help his aim. Otherwise, they weren't going to get much of anywhere, were they?
No, but he's much more concerned with that. And then freaking out, she shakes her head.
Did you talk him around before?
I did, and I talked his wife around, and now she still continues going to fight, even though she's with child.
But she still stays among the kinfolk.
Yes, but she's still with child and going on the raids.
True. But is this not progress? It is not a perfect success, but is it not progress?
Before she had a talk with Aaron, she was willing to stay behind.
Your brother is not the brightest lamp in the hall.
I
But
knew.
it was still progress.
She just rubs her head. And what happens then? When she... You and I both know what's going to happen.
We keep
We
her
can
in
all...
the archery lines where she is meant to be.
We can all pretend that, oh yes, Fenrir, 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 Fenrir. And don't get me wrong. I am Fenrir as much as everyone is. But I'm also realistic.
In the end, if she dies on the field, she dies well. And in the end, if the enemy has gotten to our archers, we have lost more than Maya.
It takes one good vault. It doesn't have to be the worm. It takes one mistake. Fenrir does not value. Fenrir values courage and Fenrir values all this, but Fenrir also values pragmatism.
There is a... You know what? Pioneer. Do it.
Yes.
It's a very good peony. She looks both maybe just a touch surprised, not shock and awe, but a little surprised. And of all things, looks a little proud of you for it. For that statement.
Gives a head tilt. What?
It's not often that you think to mention the pragmatism.
Why? Why do you think I tried to arrange the pack in a practical way?
Oh, I know. I know that you know it, but you very rarely say it.
Shouldn't have to say it.
There are many things we shouldn't have to say. There are many things we don't have to scream from the mountaintop. We still say them, as they bear saying.
Well, Fenrir doesn't. Fenrir values pragmatism. Strong army is a strong army, but the one weak point can demean the whole thing. And then what would Fenrir have? More dead warriors.
Just so?
And sacrificing our needs to satiate one is not our way. What happens? She may survive 1, 2, 3. She'll hold up her fingers. But that fifth battle of the cycle, and we know what will happen, and she suddenly bears child, or is about to, or something happens. Aaron loses it, the front line breaks. The king gets distracted to try and help her.
If she is so close to bearing her child, I will make sure that she is not on the raid.
Will you? Will Aaron undermine yours as well?
Oh, Arn can undermine me, but he can't undermine those higher than me, who too know about Fenrir's pragmatism.
Do they even know that she's with child and going on raids?
I know.
And why haven't they acted?
While her belly is still small, she can still do the same things that she has always done. There is a risk there, but not to her ability to function and not to her ability to serve Fenrir.
It's more about that. It's more about just her.
What do you think it does for morale?
Morale.
To see that even in her state, she proudly goes onto the field, even if it's not the front lines.
There's a difference between giving someone a fool's hope and giving someone an actual hope. Maya
Is
is
it a
not
fool's hope?
Maya is not wounded. Maya
No,
is not hurt. Maya is not showing a massive feat of strength. If,
she's
any,
not.
if anything, they would admire Maya more for showing the strength to stay, to help, bring the fight where it needs to be here.
Is there a fight here?
There's always a fight here, a fight to survive. The wolves may go out and hunt. They need a den to make sure it's safe.
Yes. But we have a number of kinfolk here, and our home is secure.
And to have the child where it can be safe, with all our wise women here, or if something goes wrong. And also to stand among the kin as a proud woman, a lady of her house, to give that my niece or nephew a home.
There will be a home.
Not if she's leading a raid. She's trying to be in one, and is too busy focusing on my brother's chase for glory.
And how distracted do you think your brother will be knowing that she is home?
And how distracted do you think Evie knows she's right there? an enemy passes through the line.
You know he's performed better since she joined the raiding party.
Then
He
maybe
needs an audience.
and he has one. What's that? Just shake her head and rub her face.
For the moment, Astra, she is not so gravid that she is incapable. When she is, if she starts having complications, if she starts having difficulties, sooner or later, the wise women, the Theurges, they will move to keep her here.
She throws her hands up in the air.
If you can move her to stay, you can move her to stay.
I did that and Aaron undermined me. I'm not doing it anymore.
Puts her hands up. All right.
What? What do you want me to say? You think it's me interfering?
And why are you so concerned when the others are not? Why is it this that sticks with you, that troubles you so much?
Because she's my family. Because it's going to happen to me.
And when you are with child, do you plan to stay in your home? Never travel out, never take risk?
If I'm to have a child, then yes, I will have to. Until it's born. Be so afraid of losing it.
And that is your choice. Do you plan to leave then after it's born? And return to the raids? And return to our fight?
Of course.
Even knowing that you could have another? And you risk the chance to bear further life?
Of course, it's what has to be done. But I'll make sure that life is born. With all of my power.
Do you think Maya would do any less?
Shrugs.
Do you think she is wholly unaware and unsympathetic to the child in her?
I don't know. I think, honestly, I think she's more concerned with Aaron.
Do you?
Our mother stayed home to raise us.
She did.
Well, I'm not my mother, and neither is Aaron, or neither is Maya. We had that example.
And Maya may die in the field somehow, if our luck is very poor. Maya may also die giving birth to the child, if our luck is very poor. Maya may die of blood loss after delivering the child, She could die any day out in the field to an accident. She could die on the road. Maya is not unaware. And it's not that she does not care. But you have spoken to her. You truly think it is only Arn that draws her onto the field.
Of course she wants to be in part of the glory. Of course she does, like all of us do. But Aaron springs a fire in her. Which
It
makes her
does.
about all sense.
I won't say you're wrong. But they didn't have that talk on the field. And while he was a light in glory and bloodshed, they had the talk here.
She shrug.
Maybe she just wants to cling to it. Maybe she just wants to wait a little longer. But sooner or later, the decision will be made for her that she will stay here if it has to be.
Then shouldn't. What's the point of making the decision that's ultimately going to be the opposite in the end?
Would you turn down a raid that we could ship out for today if you knew that in a week you would not be able to go on the next?
But if you knew if you made a mistake.
You
Yes,
already know that if you make a mistake, it could kill you.
but it's not just about me. But I touch at her belly.
She'll shuffle, like, make a little scooch closer. Just hook an arm up around her back. Lean in, as though confiding a great secret. Maybe you're just the better mother of the two of you.
So look over. What?
Think about it. There are, even out among our other kin, kind of gesturing with her nose, like off into the distance, off into the wilds. Even among them, there are those who raise many healthy litters. And there are those who birth a litter and abandon it. I'm not saying that Maya will abandon her child, but some are better suited than others. Some are more prepared than others.
But then she needs to be told.
She will be, when she has to be.
She just shakes her head. Doesn't bother fighting it.
In the meantime, would you take away her right to choose?
No, but it seems more mollycoddling. She needs some harsh truths, not a pat in the back.
Did your mother put up her shield because she was told to or because she chose to?
She chose to.
Perhaps we are trying to give her the chance to choose it.
She's not taking it.
It is a hard thing to choose. Some of us are more prepared than others. Kind of pitches a glance aside. Gold eyes glinting.
I see your point, I just don't like it.
Well, that's fair.
It's my
You don't
blood
have
as much
to.
as it's my blood as much as his.
Just a thoughtful little squint. Are you worried that he will be distracted on the field or that you will be?
She doesn't say anything to that. I mean, letting the silence be the answer. It's not always about Aaron.
No, it's not. But how can we know if you only say it's about Arn?
Because everyone cares about Aaron.
Do you think we don't care about you?
He's the Arun. He
And you're the
changed first.
Galliard.
And he changed first.
And you changed second.
He married first.
And he made an emotional decision while you were making a logical one.
Logical one. Waiting for her. Like I said, everyone cares about Aaron.
Gives her back a rub. You'll find a mate, Astra.
It's not about finding a mate. Of course I'll find the one I want. But that's my family just as much as Aaron's. I just don't show it all the time.
It's not weakness to invest in your family and to show care for it. Look at mine. Kind of gestures back to the village in a broad way.
It's not about weakness either.
And why keep it to yourself?
Cuz I don't want Maya to think. I don't want her to give her the satisfaction to know I care.
There's but look.
What? I don't like her.
But you care.
Yes.
We don't always like our family, Astra, but we care.
I just said I did.
So where is the harm in them knowing that you care, even if you don't get along?
You wouldn't understand.
My family is massive.
No, you would not understand. This is very different.
How is it very different?
Because you're not a twin.
Oh, she pulls herself up like, oh, well, fuck me then, essentially.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck you. You know what I mean?
Fucking pulls herself up like, oh, well, fuck. Throws her hands up like, oh, fine. You know, I'm not. You've got me there. I'm not a twin.
Victoria's smirk, like, ha ha.
I do, however, have 5 siblings.
It's. I'm not giving her the satisfaction to know I care. There. No, I'm not doing it.
What happened to pragmatism?
It's pragmatic to care about your family.
And it's proud to not want them to know.
Just stand up. Let me have my one victory over that woman.
How many victories has she won?
All of them.
She has married him.
She has, even though I was against it.
Why? Because you don't like her.
Yes.
Why don't you like her, Astra?
Because she's careless. She's not good for him.
Is there someone you thought would be a better match?
In time, yeah. Nothing to do with, of course, pure breed and all that, but someone who actually helped him see that life is more than just a battlefield.
Thoughtful squint.
Fenrir teaches us that battlefield is a way of life, but we are fighting for Gaia. Gaia
We
teaches
are.
us to be whole. We balance Fenrir, but we also balance Gaia with the two. That's why we are warriors of Fenrir, but also children of Gaia.
It's Gaia that gives life, is it not?
Precisely. And Fenrir that gives us the claws to keep it.
What is Maya doing?
Only teaching him the claws.
And once she's given life,
When she gives life, the child and them, she'll rush out into the battlefield with it. Or bring the. No, next we will have a baby.
Blake. What?
She'll bring the baby on the boat.
Oh, no, she won't.
Watch.
Maya is a willful woman, but she is still kinfolk.
Watch.
We'll see.
And she is not. Good for him. Of course I worship my brother's glory. I don't want to take that away from him. But I want to see him being my brother and not just, I am untamable.
And if I could, I would make each of you half the other. You're two dramatic extremes. Both fighting for the same cause, but two dramatic extremes.
Well, maybe I would just like someone to give him that chance to see that other side of himself. Not just constantly pump one end. Maybe I wanted what was best for him. Not for a quick, easy fuck. It's not like I care or anything.
Baka. Fucking.
Yeah, pretty much.
She smiles faintly.
So there, I don't like her today. And
You
I
don't have to.
don't want to tell it to her face. I know. Because it is insulting to her and to my nephew or niece. But I have words for that woman that will happen one day.
I believe it. I hope that by time you let them out, you can keep them in order.
I mean, I'm tempted to go down there now.
I suppose that you could.
Problem is, I could use some help keeping them in order.
Well, at the very least, you look the part. Kind of fiddles with, a tendril or two of hair.
I mean, I could just use somebody there. Even my head.
I'm always here.
Very well then. I will go.
Are you calm?
Yes.
Squint.
I am calm. And thank you for listening.
Of course.
It's not like I care. She keeps walking.
Dite will smile to herself and let Astra escape with the last word and everything.
Astra will march victoriously down to Maya because words be had. Rar.
Words!
Rar. With Diddy in the back
Glorious
of her head.
words!
Yeah, she's marching with purpose, though. She is definitely marching with purpose.
All right. Let's see. Where you'll find Maya will actually be out at not quote the training grounds, not where the guru are training and wrestling and whatnot, the latest batch of cubs, roaring around. There is actually something of an archery court. There are targets set up, and Maya is at the far end with their bow, training up.
She'll watch and walk along.
And yeah, you will get to watch as she, has the quiver on her back, properly in place over, admittedly, her normal clothes. And yeah, she is initially takes a couple shots. You can see a couple arrows sticking out of it already, the target. Takes a couple shots, and after firing the last. Excuse me. After firing one of several slower shots where she is taking more careful aim. And they're landing all right. She then proceeds to attempt a flurry. Attempt basically a much faster process of, snag arrow, draw, loose, snag arrow, draw, loose. In much more rapid succession, at which point, of course, her accuracy suffers. Because she's not taking the time to line up a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, if you have all the time in the world, you get a way better shot. So yeah, you can walk up on her, and she is taking a stance, is not budging her feet the entire time, is very painstakingly keeping them planted, and is just firing off and off and off and off until she runs out of arrows.
How good of an archer is she actually?
She's not the best, but she's not the worst. She was actually doing all right when she was taking time to aim, but when she starts trying the flurry, you can tell that she's kind of keeping them roughly on target. Firing into a crowd, this would actually work pretty well, though. Give me a peony. Still two. Astra will pick up that it's not that her accuracy is getting worse and worse because she doesn't have any skill. It's that after a certain point, you can see that little crease in her brow, that little, frustrated look, maybe the tension in her jaw and neck. She starts getting angry at herself for the arrows that are flying off. And because of it, she starts veering off even worse. So by the time she gets to the end of the quiver, you've got some that are pretty dramatically off key, but it's a matter of temperament, not so much a matter of skill.
No, it's Astra's like, she doesn't have the discipline for a fucking archery. Yeah, she's walking.
Are you going to walk up before or after she goes to retrieve her arrows?
Before.
Yeah, you walk up as she's kind of glowering at the target and the arrows, some of which have fallen well off their mark. Though she does, as you walk up, finally notice that you're coming and offer, kind of schools her expression and bobs her head politely.
Maya?
Astra, I didn't know you were watching.
I happen to be passing by.
Well, I hope you're not completely disheartened. Finally, kind of goes to shrug the bow. Finally, kind of moving, not to move away from you. She's not stomping off. She's just kind of starting to ease in that direction. Essentially, you are more than welcome to walk with her, but she does intend to retrieve the arrows.
She'll start walking with her, and Astro will feel tap Diddy in the back link and be like, doesn't have the discipline for an armed rank.
For what?
For a fucking archer behind a shield wall, Diddy.
So teach her some.
I'm meant to be having a word with her.
So Matt, perhaps teach her some of that pragmatism. She can't land an arrow if she's too busy being mad at the last arrow. She can't make good decisions if she's too busy being emotional about the last.
I was going to do that anyway. You know what I mean? I've just, bleh. Yes, of course. Bleh. Damn you and your logic. She's
You were
walking.
right. Yeah, and she is just walking along and starting with the ones that have veered further off course is just very frustratingly plucking arrows out of the ground, shaking them off, and wiping off the heads and putting them back in the quiver.
You'll keep missing if you keep doing that.
Doing what?
Getting angry at the last arrow you shot.
Well, maybe if they went where they were supposed to, I wouldn't get so angry at them. As she like pulls out the last one and like the furthest, shakes it maybe a little too vigorously, finally wipes it and shoves it back into the quiver.
Being an archer is not being in the front line, Maya. It takes time. And in combat, there's barely any, so you have to learn to practice that. Rushing and hoping it hits the target means it's never going to.
There's a bit of a sour glance, not aimed at Astra, just at life. I know. That's why I'm training. She reassures herself, plucking up the next arrow. Working her way towards the target, which admittedly has a good couple in it.
Have you never used a bow before, Maya?
When I showed proper potential with the sword, and they thought I might change, I stopped taking archery. Focused more on hand-to-hand, on sword and shield.
She lets out a breath because what Astra's about to say is not going to be harsh, but it's very real. Maya, most of our archers trained from when they were boys. They train to have the discipline to be able to hit the target when you're aiming, but still aim in the middle of combat. It takes years of practice and discipline.
I'm just rusty, she says, yanking out one from the target.
You've got talent. I'm not taking that away from you. When you cam and aim, you hit the target. When you're so emotional, you're never going to hit it.
She's still kind of got that just... Again, Astra can tell it's not aimed at her. It's just kind of a very generalized bitch face going as she is, drawing arrow after arrow. They don't have, like, obviously, the heads on them meant for barbing into a person in battle, so they come out pretty smoothly. But she's still maybe putting a little extra oomph in there.
And when we're in the middle of a battle, we're going to need that discipline.
And I will find it.
Will you? Or you keep getting mad at every arrow you miss, especially when my brother's in the front line.
And this time, through kind of gritted teeth, just I won't miss. Yank. Put back in quiver.
How long are you going to take some responsibility and stop getting... Close your eyes and stop living a delusional fantasy that you won't miss when you're going to.
Sounds better when I just say I won't miss. Yikes.
Or it might sound better when you say, I'm going to aim. Instead of thinking, learn to rely on your reflexes.
She finally just takes the last from the target, tapping it a few times in the opposite palm. I will aim. I can aim. I was just hoping with some practice I would get better results out of firing faster.
It takes them years to develop that, Maya. And thinking you could do it after a couple of training sessions is...
I've come out here every day since we decided.
Yes. And while your aim when you take your time is wonderful, in the middle of a heated battle, where someone's life is in your hands, especially when you have such a precious thing to think about.
I won't be endangering the archery line.
There's nothing about endangering. How are you expected to perform your duty when you can't even think straight?
Finally starts, heading back for the full distance again. Obviously going to her starting point. Again, not outpacing by any means. I will learn. Just seems so trivial, fighting from so far away. It's not the same.
It's not. But sometimes we all have to take a responsibility we don't like. It's not just you and Aaron anymore.
I know. That's why I agreed to stay back in the firing line.
On the raid.
Kind of shoots a side glance.
Where you're placing yourself in danger, even if you are on the back line.
Our firing line has never come under threat, and I am better equipped than most of our archers to handle a direct fight.
You're also with child.
So I should give up everything.
No. It's not about giving up everything. It's about looking at it practically.
She, has unshouldered the bow and knocked an arrow, and is this time again pausing to sight along it properly. I'm being as practical as I know how to be.
No, you're not.
And she looses. Let's see how her archery goes. We'll give her. She's still only kinfolk, so that and for that. It's a reasonable success. But thwips down, hits the target. It's not a bullseye, but it's roughly on target. And what would you have me do, Astra?
Take care of the child and be a lady for the house. Give it a fucking home. Come back to. Be his wife, not just his shield maiden. He needs both.
Can't be both. She's not making eye contact at this point. She's looking down the field. She's pulling another arrow, sighting it, but pointedly using it as a way to keep from making eye contact.
Yes, you can.
I can't be a shield maiden sitting at home while he's out on the raid, picking up knitting. Ugh. Looses.
Or teaching his child how to fight.
His child is not here yet.
Or you can take care of it. You can stay home and build a home for him.
We have a home.
That you won't be barely at because you're both raiding. Is it ready for a child?
The raids are not day in and day out, Astra.
But you're still both obsessed about it.
She pulls another arrow and is sighting along it. Is it wrong to love what I do?
No. It's not.
Is it wrong to not want to give all of it up? The drop of a hat. When I have barely a belly yet.
You're not giving it up. Don't see it as giving it up. Aren't you concerned of what would happen? This is your first child.
It is. It is the first. But it's not here yet.
That's your excuse.
She turns a glance aside. I did not become an invalid the day that I was found with child, Astra.
Nobody has ever said you were.
But they want to treat me like someone who was brought back from the field, crippled.
You're
They
not.
want me to stay home.
Then stand firm. You're not crippled.
And they want you to stay home because it is. Because that, my nephew or niece, will need a home, and so will Aaron. You can still go out in the raids. You can still teach your child from when he is born. Feed him, nurture him, teach him how to fight. Nobody will look less at you. Aaron won't.
She draws another. She's getting a little. It's taking her longer each time to catch her aim. I don't want to be some fisherman's wife who sits at home and puts a candle in the window every time his ship goes out and hopes he will come back and do nothing about it.
And what are you going to do with the child when you have it?
When there is a child, I will have to be home.
But then,
But then
won't you be?
there's a reason to stay home.
And there's still a reason to stay home. You're with it, whether it's a bump or not.
She finally, on that last arrow, just kind of gives up, loosens, the draw on it, lets the bow kind of fall. Kind of glances aside. The Skulson boys. Aren't you responsible for them every time we go out?
Yes?
Would you not go just because you knew they were at risk?
That's a far different matter, Maya. You know it is.
And all the times that I've gone with you, I'm Arn's responsibility, should he have not gone because it would put me at risk.
It's a different matter, Maya. You know it is. I am not with the Skolson kid. Brothers, one of them. Child, am I?
No. But you're responsible for their lives.
And you're responsible. You've pointed the belly.
And yet you still raid and they still go with you.
But you're responsible for that. My nephew and niece.
How is it any different? This does not cripple me. It does not keep me from doing support.
Because you have a duty as the mother, Maya.
Do you not have a duty as their keeper?
I keep them safe. And what, do you think that's the same?
When you are out in the city fighting, leaving us behind.
Do you think that's the same?
I think that is still a life that you are responsible for.
I see. So you're going to leave the child behind when you go on the raids with Aaron then?
I don't know. I don't know if I will stay. I don't know if I will go. But I know that if I go, there'll be a wet nurse.
I see. And the child will not know your name.
What makes you think the child will not know my name?
Will know you as a distant figure.
We do not go on raids every day, Astra.
No, but when you go and don't come back.
I already said I don't know if I'll go.
You've already made up your mind.
She just kind of looks at you. Brow knits. I've only just said that I haven't.
I know you and my brother.
How can you know how I will treat a child when you have never seen me with one? Even I do not know.
I know you and my brother.
And I am sure many people thought they knew your mother.
She tenses.
And though I have heard many, many great tales of her being a fine shield maiden, she still made a choice I don't think anyone expected.
I see.
Do you expect me to wrap the child on my back and go into battle anyways?
Knowing you, probably.
Kind of
My
pulls her
bro-
head back a bit at that.
and my brother would be foolish enough to go along with it.
I think I'm done training for the day. She kind of politely, stiffly, so stiffly, but perfectly politely, gives a bob and tries to turn to go.
Astra didn't turn in like, fuck! Do you know what I mean? Oh, Astra, do you roll your willpower to fucking keep going? Oh, fuck it. She's on low enough willpower, that's the thing. She's just not the fortitude. See how badly this ends. That's how much willpower I have left, Katie. Chasing that fucking racket back.
God,
Mm.
I hope that flower crown was worth it.
It was. It's always worth it. Success means yes. Not going to defend that.
I don't feel the need to defend myself against hateful, insulting accusations.
Hateful.
Hateful. Last time you talked to me, it was as a sister. I enjoyed it.
And what you
This
don't
time you come to me with accusations. Hateful. Kind of cocks her head a little bit. Hurtful. I don't know what you expected to get out of me.
I expected you not to keep feeding my brother's glory all the time to the point where he doesn't think anymore.
She whips around. And God bless her, she may be a kinfolk, but she advances.
Oh, Astra
Really.
brows up. Yes. Because he's more than just glory. He's more than that.
You think I don't know? You think I don't just play his games to make him happy?
There's a difference
You
between
think we don't know when we're playing and when we're serious?
I think there's a difference between playing and letting him live a happy delusion than helping him.
Would you rather break him to prove a point?
It's not about breaking him. You know that.
Do I?
I hope you do.
And I'd hoped you thought better of me.
I don't.
I see that.
But I've tried.
Have you?
I made the effort. For him. I made the effort to get to know you. To help you. For him.
And you've made the effort to try to force me to do something that I'm not ready to do.
Force you.
And when I have refused, when I have expressed any interest or any fear of putting away the only thing I'm good at, you come to me and you're so hateful. Shall I spontaneously gain a talent for knitting to make you happy, Astra? Shall I start just sweeping the home and let my martial skill fall completely aside?
Your martial skill will not fall aside.
It does. Even muscle memory is not forever.
For 9 months.
And when I spoke of going out on the raids, after those 9 months, you practically spat on me.
Because it's your child.
But now you're saying only 9 months.
For 9 months.
When that's not going to be enough for you and you expect me to stay home.
There is a home. There is a place here that needs guarding.
And there are many fine guardians to defend it. And we are here every hour that we are not on the raids. They're only a small portion of our life.
I see. So you'd rather take the chance out there?
No, I see. But you would rather dig at any chance to make your point than to hear me out.
I hear you out.
Then why, if that is not enough, would you say it's only 9 months, when you know that's not enough to make you satisfied? When you know that's not your point, and not what you want? Why would you pretend just to get me to give 1 inch?
Because it's my nephew and niece. And you're my family.
And treat me like family and not like a petulant child.
Because you're acting like one.
I am acting like one. At least I am not changing my argument.
Twitches. Because I'm trying not to insult you.
You've already dealt me secondhand insult. Saying that you think no better, saying you think I'm not smart enough. I am no guru. I am no teller of tales. I am no mystic or scholar, but I am not stupid.
Very well. Well, then let me put it into reality. Eventually, what will happen is you'll make a mistake. Something will happen on a raid. And yes, it is not all our life. Of course not. Something will happen. My brother will get distracted because you're there. And something might happen. Something. And then you will die. And my brother will agonize himself. And yes, we fight and we die. But that there deserves a chance at life. And yes, you may sacrifice 9 months of your life, 9 months of your skill for it. And hell, maybe you don't go on a raid for the first couple of years to raise your child. It doesn't mean you're not powerless. It doesn't mean you can't do anything. It doesn't mean you can't make that place a home that he can come back to for himself, for you when you finally go back out there. Nobody
What
thinks
if
less
I'm
of
no
you.
good at that?
By whose definition? Your own? Or his? Do you not think he'd be happy that you come home and there you are with his child? Sure, your home is not lavish, but still your home that you made yourself. With your own hands. Do you think he'd be happy with that?
She's kind of giving this light shake, not to disagree, but as if you've missed something. I'm going to invite you to Pioneer.
Oh no, I know what she means. She knows what she means. She definitely knows what she means. I won't roll it because she'll actually get up in Maya's face.
Okay.
You're not. And if you fear for not being a good mother, Aaron was raised by the same type of woman as you. And look at them.
Yeah. Look at him.
Didn't you fall in love with him?
I did. But I don't know how to keep a home, Astra. We have house servants. We have others that do that. I don't know how to keep a home. I don't know how to raise a child. I know how to fight.
Then this is the time you should be spending learning how to. That's why they're asking you to stay.
They aren't.
I am.
You never liked me going on the raids.
No. But now since you have my nephew and niece in your belly, you have Aaron's heart right there. I particularly don't want you on those raids. You say you don't need to learn, don't know how to have a home, how to raise a child. Stay
You?
home and learn. No. And it scares me just as much as you, but I will stay home and I will learn. It means that child that has any chance. I'll make that sacrifice for them. When the time comes and they are raised and they understand why I'm going to fight, then I will go on raids. But give them the chance to understand first. You can still keep your body sharp and your mind sharp. But raise the child and learn how to. So they can take your place after you.
I didn't think your people were allowed to wait so long.
I probably won't have them as much as luxury as you will.
She kind of heaves this sad little laugh. Just over the phrasing. Again, it's obviously not something designed to mock Astra, though it probably crawls under her skin. It's just shaking her head. Luxury.
It's your child. It's definitely a luxury.
She kind of pitches a glance. Past Astra. Not towards the training grounds, not off towards this or that, but back directly towards the village. They're not that far, but, kind of just into the middle of it. I don't want to be like them.
Do you think raising a child is being like them?
It's what they all turn into. Walking around in flocks like hens, clucking. She finally kind of pitches a glance over to Astra. It's not that I never wanted to have a child. I do. And I know. She finally kind of lowers a hand, rubbing it over her belly. But it's... I don't know what I expected. But I don't want to become that.
You won't have to.
That's what they expect.
There's a difference between raising a child, staying and being a mother hen. Our mother chose to stay behind and be a mother hen. You can raise a child. You have the time to teach it the old ways. And go and fight. And you can still come to the training grounds every day and train. But teach it. Teach it your way. You don't have to mingle like a gossip chicken. You can still be a proud shield maiden.
And she finally, she may be a little clever, but she's only so clever. She finally turns a kind of sad smile aside. Are you saying that because you believe it? Or are you saying it because, it's what I want to hear?
I'd rather see my niece and nephew brought up by a shield maiden and taught the old ways than someone who desires to mingle and follow a crowd. I'd rather see them be sat down and taught by that person. Not just handed off to some wet nurse who doesn't know. Not like you do and not like I do.
I need time to think.
Nod. Understandable.
She will, go ahead and this time much less stiffly give a little nod and turn to go. Maybe a little less with that striking confidence. As Dide, from the back of your head, ever so helpfully suggests, you might have tried leading with the reassurance.
Now you tell me.
There are some things I didn't figure need to be said.
I can't. I'm not perfect.
No. You got to the point. Pissed her off first, though.
Yeah, well, felt good to do that. I know it's wrong. It felt good to do it.
I bet it did. Though it, made a hard to swallow pill even harder to swallow.
Sometimes we need to swallow a pill that's hard to swallow.
Yeah, and sometimes you lace medicine with honey, and sometimes you lace it with arsenic.
Well, maybe the time for lacing with honey had passed. It was harsh. Yes. Didn't enjoy doing it.
You enjoyed the first part. Don't lie.
A little. But I meant what I said.
Well, yeah. After you led with the insults.
I snapped. It's not just the Yaroons who were angry, did they?
I know. I think I didn't stop you.
I wasn't from a place of hatred.
No, it was just a place of intense dislike.
Yes.
Still not the best foot to lead with. But we got there. If you're really lucky, she'll forget about the really insulting part and actually take your advice.
She probably won't, knowing my luck.
Well, it was kind of nasty. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, lucky you, this might be more than one sitting kind of thing, but oh, hey! Ivan, hey.
She just fades out of the link, kind of rubs the back of her head. Probably would just end up walking home, kind of like,
Well, she gets at least one consolation prize. So she heads back home. Everyone's still kind of doing their shit. But at the very least, this asshole is still outside.
just gives him like this meek little, hey.
Then, for what it's worth, as he sees her coming, flower crown and all, now just ever so nicely braided on top of her hair, and how fancy. And he pops a broad smile, and again, does the whole arm flail wave as you're walking up.
Like I said, meek smiling, hey.
He'll abandon Peter to wander over, lean on the fence. Hey.
Yeah. Look chipper.
Well, I try.
Good.
You don't.
Had an argument.
Sorry.
I had an argument with Aaron's wife.
Ah.
It was my fault. I led with harshness.
Do seem to remember you having a very distinct opinion.
I was just trying to help, and I just get angry sometimes.
And he'll kind of lean to stretch over and take another little tendril of the hair and kind of tuck it up back over a little crown of flowers. Pull a couple strands out of her eyes, as it were. And if she's smart, she'll eventually find out you're only sharp on the outside.
No, my luck, I've probably convinced her quite quick that I'm nasty.
Like a very perturbed hedgehog. Grinning.
Just, yeah.
Alright, come on. Come here. Holds out both arms. Come on.
She gives her him a stare.
Go on, don't pretend you don't need it. Come on.
I can't.
A hug?
You're a slave.
Kind of tilts his head. You know how many people are raised by house slaves? I'm sure they get hugs.
Nods, maybe.
One or two. That's okay. I'll take a looking for it. Come on.
It'll be a bad idea. Not for the reasons you think.
Skeptical look.
Not for the reasons you think. She'll look around nervously.
Like I said, I'll take a looking for it. It's worth it to see you smile. Come on.
Step, 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 step.
Awkward shuffle. Awkward shuffle.
Freeze when he gets a bit closer.
Yeah. Admittedly, there is a fence between you, so it can only get so close. But once you get into range, he'll just kind of gingerly, carefully not force it because Guru can do things. But he'll just go to pull her in and give her, like, not a hug down around her middle or anything like that, just up around her shoulders, pull her in and give her a hug.
Awkwardly accepted, like, I want to do more, but ooh.
He's very warm. Smells like straw. The odd bit of essentially just smells like the back property of your home, really. It's not like he's rolling in mud, so it's not like he smells like filth, but smells like clean air, smells like earthy.
No,
Definitely
she's
straw.
she's on willpower too. Oh no, Astra.
Just he's not even poised for the kiss. She's gonna have to try for it, but he's at least wrapping her up.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, dare you say?
That's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
So she hugs. When she separates, it's not like bleh. It's none of that. It's the most gentlest of pecks on the lip.
Look on the bright side. The kind of shocked expression is worth it. Definitely not disapproving. Definitely not disgusted or upset. Just
She runs inside.
She does the peck, and his eyebrows immediately like make a run for his hairline.
She runs inside, spends rage and everything.
Like a rocket, just pew! And he is left there at the fence for
Never
a hot
happened.
second.
Nobody saw anything. We didn't see nothing. And she's like, poof. Yeah, no, she's gone. Long gone before you even realize what happens.
Yeah. She gets inside in time enough that she can like do that little creepy glance out the window thing, and he's still just kind of standing there. Arms now kind of just resting on top of the fence. A very, very confused look on his face, like, what? Did that happen?
Yep.
And so, unless you want to do more, we will end this scene with shock, alarm, and daw.